ורחמים, חסד ושלום, אהבה ורחמים, חסד לשלום, love and compassion, kindness and peace, love and compassion, kindness and peace, Abba, Berachamim, Chesed, Vishalom, Abba, Berachamim, Chesed, Vishalom. Boker Tov, good morning from the car sanctuary, from the car office, from the car place, from this space where there's enough service, hopefully, where my connection stays enough. And here we are reminding ourselves that sometimes it's just the connection is very much enough. In this week's Torah reading, we talk about flame, we talk about illuminating and connecting. And so in this world, things are, I think, unbelievable. This morning, there was a detour, like a road closure. And I went to drop Ellis off at Rabbi Jay's, and he's telling me that we're never going to get there because the road is closed. And I said, no, we're going to don't worry, we're going to get there. And so when we got there, he said, this is unbelievable. We made it here anyway. I thought to myself, once again, if life could be so simple as figuring out a detour, which we know we live 4 minutes apart from each other. But Ellis thought it was going to be impossible, and yet something so simple is to be done. And yet we wake up with this news. It was yesterday, and it's been for all week talking about it, with the news of Alabama and how backwards we are and how terrible it is to think for a moment that government has control over bodies and human life and punishment. And I was reading an article that said that Jewish women struggle with infertility almost 5% more than that of the general population. And so when I think about the connectedness that we have and the support that we have for one another and for humanity, I think about, just the war still ever present in Israel and Gaza. And I think how unbelievable that is. Like we are so far ahead of where we were handed the land. So we've modernized in so many ways, and then we just keep taking these steps backwards. And so what do we do when we're unsure of what's going on in the world? We turn back to Torah. We turn back to what keeps us bound together. And in this week's Parsha Tetzaveh, or Tetzaveh, meaning to command, God speaks to Moses, telling them, hey, get the Israelites to keep this is their job. Tell the Israelites to keep this flame illuminated. There's a lamp that must be lit, perpetual light. It says in Exodus 27:20, the Israelites are to bring clear illuminating oil to keep the lamp consistently burning. And so that lamp that we're talking about is the Ner Tamid, the lamp of eternity, the eternal light, the light that goes above the ark, the light that is never to go out. And so when we are in the sanctuaries of our cars, when we're in the sanctuaries of our homes, Perhaps we don't have an ark. Perhaps we don't have a Ner Tamid just dangling from the ceiling. But we have this understanding of the duality of light. The idea that there is an outer and an inner light. The outer is simple. You see it on the outside. Things like a menorah, a Chanukiah, things like a yahrzeit candle. We look at it and we see it. It's an outward presence of light. The inner light is slightly different. The inner light is the light of wisdom that reveals the presence of God within us, or within whatever that may be. It illuminates the inner tent of meeting where self meets self, where self meets God, where God meets self. I think more appropriately, perhaps, that the word tetzaveh could be translated as, instead of to command, to connect. To connect, Moses connects the people in being an effective leader. The Zohar says leaders like Moses are an extension of Moses in each generation, spiritually awake and illuminated. That inner illumination is the divine spark of light that is our neshama, our soul, and the ruach, our spirit. Proverbs 20:27, interestingly, from this portion is Exodus 27:20. So the reverse of the numbers from Proverbs says, the soul of a man, or let's say the soul of a human, is the candle of God. Like a human soul, flames must breathe. We know that. Cover a candle up and the flame goes out. Flames must breathe, must change, must grow, and strive against darkness. And then ultimately they fade away. But in the flickering of a candle, in the flickering of a flame, we are reminded of the precious fragility of our own lives, in the lives of our loved ones, in the lives of humanity. So cherishing even the flickering is important towards illumination and connection. When we think of the flame of, let's just say, a yahrzeit candle, for example, we can go through all of the different lights that we light on each holiday, on Shabbat, whatever. But when we think about the lights of a yahrzeit candle, each candle represents the soul of the loved one that we're lighting it for, and our connection to it, which is never truly extinguished, because as we remember them, we're kindling that flame of that day, of that time of memory. As just as the soul continuously strives to reach God, and when we do the mitzvah of lighting a yahrzeit candle, we are helping the soul of our departed to grow, to continue to grow and to elevate, just as we do as we shine our own light in places in the world. The Ner Tamid of the soul is in our own hearts. Not only in the temple, not only in the tabernacle, not only in the tent or the Mishkan or the synagogue or the school. It is the light that is within us. In the very next verse of Torah, it says, he or they must light it outside the curtain, in the street and the marketplace, in profane activities, and in everyday existence. It's our reminder that the Ner Tamid is just not a fixture somewhere off in some synagogue, but the Ner Tamid is our internal and external flame. The Reisinger Rebbe said, let your light penetrate the darkness until the darkness itself becomes light and there is no longer a division between the two. Where is your light going to shine today in a world that is full of darkness, where government is in control of things that they shouldn't be, where the war continues to rage and human life is destroyed and our captives are still held. Where will you shine your reciprocal light, the light of balance, of hope, of growth, of wisdom on this day? As we continue to learn together, as we continue to show up for one another, to connect, tetzaveh, to command, but to connect with each other. For we are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Have a beautiful, a blessed, and a light-filled day. We love you. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai.